Hello guys, good morning. So I woke up to the latest updates on Diddy's case. It seems that, excuse me, but I'm doing what I do best, is making something to eat. I'm an eating machine, okay? So today I'm making, I had these wild grapes from a few days ago. So I don't know what this is going to be. It's just, I don't have a recipe. I don't know. I'm just crushing them and then I'll strain them. And then I'm not going to make a marmalade or a jam or a jelly. I want to make more of a dessert, so we'll see what we end up with. Anyway, so back to Diddy. So Diddy updates. He has a trial date set for, oh my gosh, I've now forgotten. Is it May 5th? It's May 5th, according to reports. Yesterday, he had a court appearance, and it was about his third appearance, something like that, since he's been indicted and incarcerated. And he was in good spirits, according to reports. In court, he was blowing kisses to his family. His mother and 6 of his 7 children were present. Everyone except for the youngest child, whose name I think is Love or Angel or something like that, or Love Angel, peut-être dear. Shouldn't say pas. So he was blowing kisses. He's in good spirits. So he has a trial date for May 5th. All of the experts are saying that they don't think that this May 5th date is going to stick, because he was granted his demand for a speedy trial, which is his constitutional right. So they fixed it within 6 months of his indictment, which brings us to April, May. So it's set for May the 5th. And so he's basically back in his cell at the Brooklyn Detention Center, because the judge did not grant the bail petition immediately. Right? So it's not the hearing for bail has not yet occurred. That is still pending. The third bail appeal is still pending, according to my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. What happened yesterday was that the judge could have granted his request for immediate release then, but chose not to. However, the actual petition, the appeal to the appellate court, is still pending and should be decided any day now, really. Because I heard some people saying, oh, his bail was denied. In fact, his attorneys, I don't think, made an official request for bail yesterday. What they were there to do, it was a status conference to inform the court of where they all are and to set a trial date, which has now been set for May the 5th. We know that there's a motion pending from the defense to investigate the leaks that occurred with that explosive video from 6 or 7 years ago with Mr. Combs beating down Cassie Ventura in a hotel lobby or a hotel hallway. And basically what the experts are saying with that is that because the defendants and the defense attorneys have no actual proof that DHS or even the federal prosecutors were the ones to leak this video, that they probably should not have even brought the motion. I think I would have to respectfully disagree with that. Even if they lose that motion, I think it's very, very important for them to put that out there, because the same people who saw that video of Diddy beating up Cassie in that hotel hallway are the same people who will form the pool of potential jurors in the case. And if they don't hear any rebuttals from Diddy or any explanations or any pushbacks, they are going to hold the opinion that Diddy is a monster who's guilty of everything, including robbing Tiffany's and Bergdorf Goodman's and among other things, and killing somebody's pet alligator, among other things, right? Just because of that video. That video is so damning. It's so explosive. It's so prejudicial, right? It has so inflamed the public, as I personally have said. I was the first one. I said it before Diddy's lawyer said it, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they saw my video on that, right? Very few people saw it, but, the key people who need to see it, I hope, saw it. And that needs to be challenged. And even if they lose the motion because they can't actually prove who did it, it's important to get that narrative out there so that potential jurors will know that they have been set up. They have been set up. Diddy has been set up to go to prison for the rest of his life based on the fact that he's a monster who beat his girlfriend. Notably, he's not charged with being a monster who beat his girlfriend. He's charged with racketeering, which is a totally different crime. He's charged with prostitution or trafficking for prostitution or whatever. And he's charged with trafficking, right? Trafficking people. Now, the same people who are charging him with trafficking to commit prostitution are also saying that he had these sex slaves that he didn't pay. So which is it, right? It cannot be prostitution unless you pay, you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. The only thing that distinguishes having, intercourse with someone and being a prostitute is that after you have the intercourse, the prostitute gets money and the other person does not. So a person could go out and have intercourse with 100 guys or 100 women, for that matter, male or female prostitute. I mean, take your pick. As long as no money is passed, that person is not a bad person. If you go out and you have intercourse with even one person and that person gives you money after, that's prostitution. That makes you a bad person, right? Now, you're saying that this man had all these sex slaves whom he did not pay, and then you're accusing him of trafficking for prostitution. You can't have it both ways, you guys. Look at this. Doesn't this look delicious? Doesn't this look delicious? Oh my God. Okay, right? They can't have it both ways. And yeah, I agree with Diddy's attorneys. Challenge that video because that video has existed for 6 or 7 years. Nobody knew its existence. No one knew its existence. Within weeks of being raided by the federal government, by the Department of Homeland Security or the FBI or whomever it was, and I say this with all due respect, okay? I mean, don't shoot the messenger. But within weeks of that raid, suddenly this video erupts into the public sphere. This video has existed for more than 6 or 7 years. Cassie and Diddy were together. They went back together after this incident in the hotel. They broke up, maybe a year or so after that. There are videos of them being out after the fact, looking happy together. Whatever that means, I don't even know, but they were photographed. TMZ has a video of them out together looking, quote unquote, loved up well after that incident in the hotel, right? And months later, they broke up. And it was years later that she sued him for $30 million and got her $30 million, right? But you're going to suddenly, try to convince the public that you don't know how this video got released. This video existed for years and years and years. And within weeks or maybe a month of it going into your possession or coming into your possession, choose your verb, it was disclosed to the public. So I don't know who did it, but somebody obviously did it, and it's somebody new because, again, all the old people had access to this video for years and years and years, and nobody ever disclosed it. So it's something new that occurred, and I think it was very important. It was very important for the defense attorneys to bring this motion, even if they lose, to put that out there in the public narrative that this all was a setup. This was a setup, right, to make him look even worse. Again, beating up your girlfriend is really bad. You need to pay some kind of consequence for that. But that doesn't make you a racketeer. And if you can't be a sex slave driver and still be trafficking for prostitution, because you got to pay for it to be prostitution. Anyway, that's all for this one.